Hi everyone, we are here today at Reuters Events Pharma 2024 in Barcelona. I'm joined by Giles, Platford, President, Plasma-Derived Therapies Business Unit at Takeda and Chair of the Global Executive Board at the PPTA. Welcome, Giles.
Thank you, Daniel. Happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm just going to jump straight into things if that's okay. As obviously President of the Plasma-Derived Therapy Business Unit, what is Plasma-Derived Therapies?
Well, Daniel, thank you for having me here. Plasma is the yellow straw-colored liquid that comprises about 2/3 of blood. It contains thousands of proteins, some of which are deficient in patients suffering from rare, complex and chronic diseases. And oftentimes, for example, patients with primary immunodeficiencies don't have alternative sources of treatment. So it's very important that we ensure sufficient supply for these patients who really depend on, in this case, immunoglobulin therapies for their well-being.
Got you, thank you. And what are some of the biggest challenges that you're seeing at the moment?
Well, one of the biggest challenges of plasma-derived therapies is supply. We can only source plasma from active human healthy donors, and there's never enough of them. And so there's only 5 countries today in the world contributing 90% of the supply of plasma globally. The majority of that comes from the US. Europe is dependent on the US for 40% of the plasma needed to support some 300,000 patients who depend on plasma-derived therapies in Europe. So we've been really advocating for appropriate legislation at a European level to encourage and empower all EU member countries to do their part in ensuring sustainable supply of plasma for these patients.
Gotcha. And you talk about the legislation side. Is there anything on digital solutions that you're doing in terms of overcoming this challenge?
Well, the economics of bringing these patients through to plasma are very different to typical biopharma medicine. So highly capital intensive, human capital intensive. It takes 9 to 12 months. It's an incredibly complex and long process. And so helping governments understand that is very important, but also there are things that we can be doing to drive down that cost and complexity by leveraging data, digital and technology, and how we engage with our donors and make a seamless experience for them as they come into our collection centers, how we drive efficiency and productivity and how in bed utilization and optimizing the capacity of those centers, also through the manufacturing process and automating visual inspection and reducing batch turnover time. And then downstream as well with patients in easing burden of administration and enabling and empowering them to administer their treatment at home. Got you.
And so I have one last question for you. If you have a key message for the attendees at Pharma 2024, is there anything that you'd want them to go home with or take away from your session today, from the conference?
Well, one of the big things has been on the power of partnership. And so, wherever people are sitting within the health ecosystem, there are opportunities to partner with other subject matter experts, people with like-minded goals and vision and improving standard of care for patients, working together, leveraging each other's respective expertise, policymakers, medical community, patient groups, industry. This is incredibly powerful, so I would encourage more of that, and it's been great to hear some of that spoken about during this conference.
Brilliant, fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Giles.